Hey everyone, Brent from BC Does back again to bring you guys another hopefully watchable video. Support's been great on the channel so far. We're up to 35 subscribers now. I post a new video almost each and every single day. Some of them are even watchable. Maybe even this one will be watchable. Posted a video yesterday with my son Camden. Going through some Wii games that we think that the Wii system is going to start to shoot up in value for some of the games. So really good video with my son. Really enjoyed doing that. We went through 5 Wii games and he went through 5 of the Switch games. He really loves the Switch, and of course I have some of the older stuff, but it's in my feed. Go back and check it out if you haven't watched it already. Anyway, today I thought I would do something a little bit different. I've been doing a lot of music content, and this is in that same vein. But I thought this one would be a little bit different. And today, I thought I would do not a definitive top 20, but 20 songs that are deeper tracks on some really good albums. Everybody knows, these albums that listen to rock and roll or heavy metal or hard rock. But I thought I'd talk about some of the deeper tracks. There might be some that you guys may think to yourself, well, that's not really a deep track, but it's also songs that maybe you don't hear much anymore, things like that. And I think you guys that enjoy my music videos will enjoy this one. First up, and I talk about this band many times, but we have Our Lady Peace. This is their album Curve. It's a great album. Go and check it out. Give it a listen on YouTube or Spotify, wherever you get your music. But the song I want to talk about on this album is called Window Seat. It's a pretty mellow tune. It's kind of toned down a little bit, but a really good song lyrically and sonically. But yeah, I talked about this band before on my channel. This is Red Light Kings, and the song that I want to talk about on this one is Bullet in My Hand. This is a fantastic album. I mentioned this before. The lyrical content is really good. I think anybody that's had struggles in life or have gone through something and made it through the other side could relate to a lot of the lyrical content that's on this album. I mean, you can really hear his highs and his lows. He sings about them. He leaves it all out there on this record. Red Light Kings, Bullet in My Hand. If that song doesn't get you pumped up to try to have a better day tomorrow or to overcome something you're going through today, you just don't have blood running through your veins, man. I don't know. Great tune. Next up, this is a newer heavy metal album, but a really good song that's on this. This is a deeper track. This is song number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a legitimate deep track. So one made it in. I think Bullet in My Hand on the Red Light Kings is number 2 on the album, so they thought highly of it. But if you haven't ever heard it, it's a deep track to you. So this is Megadeth Dystopia album. I've talked about this a couple of times on the channel, but the song I'm talking about specifically is Post American World. Really good viewpoint from Dave Mustaine on how, people look at it, look down on America today when really we're the leaders and we're the strong, Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to say we, but he feels like America is a leading nation and everybody's just kind of pooping on America these days. And it gets you riled up, but it gets you wanting to put that old American flag out in your front yard. But yeah, post-American world and what that would look like if America didn't exist. And that's basically what the song's about. If you don't like America, what would your world really look like if America wasn't around? And he's got a really good viewpoint on that. Great song. Everybody knows this band, but may not be familiar with this album unless you're a real true Pearl Jam fan. I know a lot of like the mainstream Pearl Jam people kind of jumped off the bandwagon after Yield, but they've continued to make great albums. And this particular album is Pearl Jam Lightning Bolt, and the song I want to talk about on here is Pendulum. It's got a really cool groove in the song. It's a really mellow song, but it's kind of a ghostly sounding song, and it's really good. Check it out. it was one of those albums I put in when I bought it. I didn't like it at first because I think, like for me, every time I buy a Pearl Jam record, I'm expecting to hear, 1998 Pearl Jam, and they've changed, just like every band changes. And I left it in the CD player purposefully, and kept letting it play, and it started to grow on me, and it started to grow on me more and more and more. And one of my favorite tracks that I kept, always going back to was Pendulum. So give it a check wherever you get your music. Give it a listen. Yeah, Pearl Jam. Talked about this album a couple times on my channel, and there is just it's an absolutely stellar record, debut album from this band, and there is a song on here that is just it's just amazing, and it's called "This Is Life, Don't Copper." I'm sorry, and the name of the song is "Pillar of Davidson." It's just fantastic. There's some what's the word I'm looking for? There's some vocal harmonies toward the back end of the song. It's just really, really good. It sounds really, really big. It's just a really good song. It's kind of different from any of the other songs on the album. I think you really enjoy it. You will really enjoy it. Go check it out. It's Pillar of Davidson from the Live Throwing Copper album. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned that maybe some of these are not deep cuts, but I thought I would throw this in there because I know that a lot of us heard this song back in the late 90s and probably haven't heard it in forever. So I just wanted to kind of throw this song out there for nostalgic purposes. And this album is Third Eye Blind, and the name of the song is Graduate. You all know it. Can I graduate? Can I get my punk butt off the streets? Yeah. Third Eye Blind. Go back, listen to them again if you haven't heard them in a long time. Everybody knows Semi-Charged Kind of Life, but man, they had a lot of other great tracks. This particular album is a greatest hits album, and I do that a lot. I'll go back if I don't want to buy the whole discography from the bands that I enjoyed back in the day. Sometimes I will get what they would consider their greatest hits, and do it that way. But yeah, Graduate. Killer tune, man. Check it out. Thought about this album once before on my channel. I don't really like the whole album. It's kind of basic. But this particular song and Lane Staley, you can't go wrong with Lane Staley. And no, I'm not talking about Alice in Chains. I'm talking about, this is Mad Season, Above. And the song I'm referring to on this record is Wake Up. It's the #1 song on the record. Didn't get any radio play. So yeah, even though it's the #1 song, I consider it a deep cut because, it never got played on the radio. Everybody, heard River of Deceit was the song that was on the radio on this album. But man, Wake Up. It's a really great song if you if you listen to lyrics and you want to hear what the singers and the songwriters are talking about. It's deep, man. It's deep. Wake Up, Mad Seasons. Check it out on YouTube. And if anything else, for my rock fans, I can't remember, every great song that came out. There's so many good albums that came out in the 90s, like Space Hog, or great bands that came out in the 90s like Space Hog. Another great album that I don't have on a physical copy, I have it on my iPod, is Sponge, Wax of Static. I think everybody knows the Sponge Plowed album, but the Wax of Static album is a really good album. But one thing I hope that maybe some of these videos can do will get you rock and roll girls and guys kind of thinking, and maybe go like, yeah, I remember that song, yeah, I remember that band, and maybe get that on your playlist and bring you some joy. And really, that's really what I'm making this content for, is to give people some joy. So anyhow, if you haven't heard some of this stuff, man, listen, check it out on YouTube. All this stuff's available to listen to on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get your music. Go back and check it out. If you like it, leave a comment below. And if you don't. Or let me know either. Let me know that too and say, hey man, you recommended that. I didn't really like that much. But that's okay. Everybody's different and everybody likes different stuff. Next up is, this was a single off this album, but it kind of came and kind of went. This really isn't a deep track. I have two that aren't really deep tracks, and this is the other one. But I thought maybe if you haven't heard it, and you know, this video falls in your lap when you're streaming through YouTube late at night one night, you could go back and give this song a listen. And this is Ghost, and the name of the album is, the album. The name of the song is Sarasi. Man, it's killer, heavy tune. It's spelled, if you're looking it up, it's spelled C-I-R-I-C-E. Maybe Sarasi is not how you pronounce it, but C-I-R-I-C-E. If you want to look it up on YouTube, give it a listen. If you like hard rock, you'll love that tune. And I'm sure people that are familiar with Ghost know exactly the song that I'm talking about. Moving along, this is an album that I mentioned on my channel before in a previous video, maybe like 3 or 4 videos ago. But this is Monster Magnet, Power Trip, and the song that I would like to recommend for anybody to go listen to is Power Trip. It's the name of the song. I really like this whole entire album, man. I mean, Clockwork, Atomic Clock, Third Eye Landslide. It's just a killer record, start to finish. You know, everybody knows Space Lord, but I mean, that's probably, to me, one of the weakest songs on the album. But yeah, check it out. Power Trip by Monster Magnet. The name of the song is the title song on the album, Power Trip. Give it a listen. I bet you'll enjoy it. I talk about this band quite often on my channel. Yeah, Creed. And the song on this record is Ode, O-D-E. Just a really rocking, fast riff. It's got some vocal harmonies in it. Yeah, love it. Creed, Ode. Go check it out if you haven't heard the My Own Prison album in a long time. As soon as you hear Ode, you remember the song. And I bet it ends up on your rock and rollers. I bet it end up on your playlist. Creed, Ode. Talk about this band quite a bit on my channel too, and the song I want to mention on this one is Mexican Sun, and the name of this album is Chevelle, Sci-Fi Crimes. Man, that is some killer album art right there, by the way. I don't know who they get to do, or who did this particular album art, but it's so good, so good. Mexican Sun, man, what an amazing hard rock tune from an amazing band that continues to this very day to put out nothing but great music. Mexican Sun, look it up on YouTube, check that song out. Everybody's familiar with this album. I had to throw it in here for a deep track, music review. Damn That River. I'm sure anybody that's familiar with this album knows that song. But yeah, that's one of my favorite deeper tracks on this record. I think they thought this song maybe would have been a little more popular than it was because they put it in at number 2 on the playlist. But yeah, never got any radio play, but Damn That River. Great song, Alice in Chains. Another hard rock, heavy metal album that I have here is Five Finger Death Punch, American Capitalist. And I have a lot of Five Finger Death Punch albums. Probably truly more than I'd like to have. I kept buying them toward the end, but their first 4 albums were their best. But anyway, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, obviously. But the song on this particular album that just really hits, has got some killer bass laid down on this song, is Menace on this album. And it is song number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Song number 5. Five Finger Death Punch, American Capitalist. The name of the song is Menace. Check it out. Put it on your playlist. It's a great song if you're working out. Trust me, you'll get over the hump with that bench press if you got that song bumping in your headphones, for sure. Back again with another Chevelle album. Once again, some really great album art. Chevelle always kills it with their album art. And Still Running is song track number 4 on this album. It's killer. Killer. You don't believe me that it's a killer song? You don't believe in Chevelle? Look up Chevelle, This Type of Thinking Could Do Us In is the name of the album. You don't even have to type that much, but just type in Chevelle Still Running on YouTube and give that song a listen. I bet if you like rock and you like hard rock, you'll enjoy that tune. My purist fans of this band will say, oh man, this is the worst song they ever did, or they don't really like the song, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do like the song. But he, lyrically and vocally, the lead singer of this band really stopped screaming and start singing. And I don't know if anybody's told him, but he's got an amazing voice. And if he would sing over more of his music, I bet people would really enjoy it a little bit more. But maybe you guys like the way he sings, and I do. I like the way I like his growl. Don't get me wrong. But this particular song on this album that I'm talking about is this is Machine Head, Year of the Locust, and the name of the song is Darkness Within. It starts off slow acoustically and progresses. I do like songs that progress and get faster and heavier and harder toward the end, and it tails off that way. Starts low and then goes like this. There's not enough great rock and roll songs like that out there. I wish bands would look at that a little bit more in the production side of things when they're making an album. But man, it's another one that'll get you thinking. It's another great song, and it's another one that if you haven't heard it, I bet will end up on your playlist. Back again for a second time making this list is Creed, and the name of this song is Who's Got My Back. Man, what an awesome anthem song from Creed this one is. Who's Got My Back Now? Just a killer tune. If you don't remember it, go back and give it a listen. Guarantee you'll love it. And I also guarantee, I should have named this YouTube video Songs You Need on Your Playlist, because that should have been the name of the video. Maybe that's what I'll name it. I haven't named it yet. Maybe I'll name it that. But yeah, Creed, Who's Got My Back? You're going for a jog or a run? Bump that in the old earpods. Mentioned this album before on the channel. It's a great double album. It was kind of hard to pick a deep track for this particular album because there's just so many of them. I mean, there are 28 tunes on this one record. And the name of this one, which one did I put down here? Excuse me, go to my list here. Ready Made from Stadium Arcadium. 28 songs. If you don't feel like thumbing through all 28, look up Ready Made on YouTube. Stadium Arcadium by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Just a fantastic tune. But really, the whole album is fantastic. Both discs. Mars and Venus, both of them are really good albums. But Ready Made is, for the purposes of this video, that should be on your playlist. That one. Probably one of my favorite albums of all time, and the reason that I know it's one of my favorite albums of all time is because I can sing along to every single song on this album. And this is Everclear, Sparkle and Fade. A lot of people will remember, what was it, Santa Monica, that was on this album. But worst song on the record. Strawberry is the song on this album that I'm referring to for the purposes of this video. Go back and give Everclear Sparkle and Fade. The song Sparkle and Fade on this is a deep track that's really good on this album. But go back and give this album a listen. Man, it's a fantastic rock and roll record. Another album that is back again and got it for a steal at $3.99 at FY. Can you see that? $3.99? $3.99. Back FYE probably 15 years ago. But this is Our Lady Peace, Gravity. Yeah. everybody may remember somewhere out there. But Bring Back the Sun on this record is so good. Everything Our Lady Peace puts out is so good. But yeah, should end up on your playlist is Bring Back the Sun. It's the ninth, second to last song on this album. Sorry is really good as well. Story about a girl, but I could go through this whole album and just say download the whole record. But it is Bring Back the Sun. Fantastic song. Should be on your playlist. And last but certainly not least, and I'll probably do a whole video about this band, you know, because they're my favorite band of all time. I'll probably do a whole video about them eventually. I don't want to tap into that vein because I feel like the YouTube market is oversaturated. I'm trying to bring unique videos. I cut my teeth in the 90s on music. It's hard to remember all the albums that came out in the 90s. But I think I do a pretty decent job. I think I got a pretty good collection. This album came out in the 90s, and this album is Metallica Reload. And the song that I'm talking about on this particular record is Fixer. That song just does not get enough love. It is a fantastic hard rock song by Metallica. James kind of pours his heart out on that song about his father and his mother, kind of like he did on Dyer's Eve. And of course, you know, Mama Said was that on this? No, Mama Said was on Load. I'm sorry, I get them mixed up sometimes, but he did a lot of pouring his heart out on Load and Reload. I think, you know, he kind of opened up a little bit on that. Outlaw Torn, songs like that. It's a great record. That's on Load as well. But yeah, man, Fixer, fantastic song. Leave a comment down below. What are some songs that are on you guys' playlist from the 90s that maybe I forgot about, or some bands that maybe I forgot about? Man, help me out. I'm constantly searching for new music, or music that, something that jogs in my memory, like, oh yeah, man, I remember that. I remember that band, man. That song was fantastic. You know, let me go back and recheck that out. Leave the comments down below. Let me know what they are. If I didn't talk about one of your favorite bands from the 90s in this particular video, put it in the comments and I'll talk about them on my next video. I'm sure I'll probably have one of their albums somewhere. But really appreciate support. Please remember to leave a like. It really helps the channel out a lot. I know I'm getting a lot of views on my videos, but not a lot of likes. And I was telling someone today, you know, I watch a lot of videos that I really enjoy, but I always forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you found this particular video enjoyable and even watchable, please leave a thumbs up. Turn those bell notifications on. Like I said, I post a new video almost every single day. I've got some things in the hopper I need to edit and get out there. I haven't had time to make thumbnails for my last video, but I really appreciate the support. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.